What's happening? Rob here, the Old City Vapor, with another edition of Weird Wednesday. This evening I am vaping some Poet Electronic Nectar, the Nona Torta Alemone, and just enjoying a vape. Thought I'd throw together a quick little Weird Wednesday video for you guys. Gonna try to get back on track, get some more good stories going and all. Been super busy the last couple of weeks, and but I'm still trying to plug these along as I go. So today's story is about another place here in St. Augustine, Florida, the nation's oldest city, where I was born and raised, still reside here. There was this place kind of down the road, I don't know, about 6, 8, 10 blocks away from where I lived. 6, 8, 10, I don't know, down the road a ways. Used to go by there as a kid, and always be, cruising by on my bike or something, or with some of my friends, and we'd always look at this place and wonder what it was, and we'd always hear stories about it, just all kinds of stories from all different people, different ages and everything. Of course, as kids we all had our own stories. Who knows, half of it's probably made up in our own heads, but I would hear stories from older people as well, as the place is haunted. Who knows, the place I'm talking about is it's in downtown, kind of on the edge of downtown St. Augustine, and it used to be known as the Abbott Mansion. And like I said, when I was a kid, I would always hear stories about it, and we'd go by there on our bikes and look. It was the classic, little gang of kids on bikes, cruising through the neighborhood, and ooh, there's the haunted house, So, but over the years, I heard all different kinds of stories. And one thing that I find interesting about this town and places and houses and stuff around here, a lot of them that, have not just my stories, but just tons of people's other stories about being haunted and this and that. A lot of them seem to be bed and breakfast inns and stuff now, which the Abbott Mansion is now called the Old Mansion Inn. And this place was built in 1872, or started then. So it's one old ass building. It's big. There's a lot of small little houses around St. Augustine, the old ones. This place had some pretty significant square footage to it, for being in downtown St. Augustine. I believe it's on the National Registry of Historic Places. It's got a lot of history. Anyway, Lucy Abbott had this place built, and she resided there for quite some time. And there's been tons and tons of stories, that it's haunted by her. And not only by her, there's another ghost that there's lots of stories about, like an old sailor or sea captain thing that's going on there. There's been reports of, people seeing, like a figure in the hallway. People have heard knocks on doors in the middle of the night. Open it. There's nobody there. People have reported, hearing footsteps down the hall. Just all kinds of stuff. There's some of the more colorful stories about some people that were staying there that have been pushed and shoved. One lady reported the day they were leaving, because she had had enough and was freaking out. It was time to go. She felt like somebody was trying to push her out of one of the upstairs windows. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Um, I don't have any personal stories of the place. I have been on the grounds. I've been around it as a kid. I just drove by it the other day, and it kind of reminded me. I was when I was doing the video, last week's video at the cemetery. This place is just a hop, skip, and a jump from there. And like I say, it was built in 1872, so that's quite a few years back. A lot of history in that building on those grounds as well. Who knows? You know, there's a lot of scattered bits and pieces. Who knows actually who stayed there, who lived there, who, you know, the whole 9 yards as a guest or whatever. But we do know that Lucy Abbott was the one that had the house built and resided there for quite some time. It was bought in the 80s, early 80s, as a private residence, and they spent, I believe there's 16 rooms in this house, mansion, whatever. When I say mansion, it's not like, you know, some, you know, 100,000 square foot mansion, but it's pretty good size. There's 16 rooms, so that's a hell of a lot bigger than my house. And anyway, there's just a lot of obviously a lot of history in the place, and I've talked to people over the years, you know, people in my family, just people that I know, people that I've just seen passing by, you know, we'll talk about it, and so lots of stuff going on there. I'm going to try to dig up a little bit more info about it, but I thought it would be worth mentioning. It is, like I say, nowadays it is a bed and breakfast, and there's been some reports of some weird activity by people, you know, patrons who've stayed there and stuff. So I find that kind of stuff interesting. Still, my favorite one so far is the one I talked about quite a while back, that when I was a kid, way back in the day, the place always gave me the creeps. I ended up working in this building with a friend of mine that had a business there, and the place used to be a funeral home. So that's kind of one of my favorite bed and breakfast, haunted, spinny kind of places in St. Augustine. But the Abbott Mansion, or the Mansion Inn as it's now called, is it definitely has some secrets behind the walls there. So who knows, if you're in St. Augustine and you feel like staying at one of these places, definitely let me know, because I'd be interested in your night's sleep, or maybe no night's sleep, who knows. There's several of them here in St. Augustine. I'm going to try to cover a few more in in-depth detail on a few of them when I have a little bit more time. But that's it for now. Not a whole lot on this one, but I'll try to include a couple of pictures so you can see the place that I'm talking about. And if anybody's been here in St. Augustine that stayed at this place, or any of the other so-called haunted places, let me know. All I know is when I was growing up, drive by there on my bike and drive by there like I was, you know, I'd pedal by there on my bike, and the place kind of always just stuck out. Yeah, it was bigger than all the other houses, but there was just something weird about it. And being that it was weird, it always kind of made me keep coming back and looking at it and wanting to know more about it. So there you go. That's it. If you got any weird places in your neighborhood, let me know. Leave it in the comments and tell me your weird stories. Haven't got any weird stories in the last week or two, so if you have any, don't be shy. Be sure to comment on them or email me or whatever you want to do. That's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll catch you later. One more tug on the tugboat here.